What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Coming Off the Bench. This is the first episode in hopefully a long time to come. I am super excited for the future of this channel and of the show. This is going to be a weekly podcast series that's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this channel going forward. Um, we may be doing it live. We may be doing it pre-recorded. I don't know yet. I asked you guys what you guys wanted me to do, what style of content you guys like the most. You guys seem to say that it is live streaming and then videos after. So we're going to be trying this format out for a minute. And then if I, need to record stuff, going forward, and we may just do pre-recorded, that just may be what we have to do going forward. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out here today on your Monday afternoon, a snowy Monday afternoon. And I am super excited to get this thing going with all of you. So, Browns, Jets. How did we all sleep on that last night? The Cleveland Browns disaster class against the New York Jets last night, 27-20, the final. I made my show last night talking about the Browns and the disastrous loss that probably is the worst loss in the Kevin Stefanski era. And I just wanted to talk about that. I just want to talk about what was the worst loss in the Kevin Stefanski era. 27-20, the Browns lose to the Jets, a clearly tanking Jets team. You don't have your star corner. You don't have your star defensive tackle. You trade them away for 3 first-round picks. And somehow the offense still looked the exact same. The offense looked the exact same. And I want to talk about how the Browns can fix this. Because the Browns clearly need to fix this. This cannot happen going forward. I said it yesterday. I think the Browns need to clear house. I really do. I think it's well past time. And I think that the loss to the Jets clearly was a shift in, I think, Kevin Stefanski's job security. And what I kind of wanted to talk about today is, I want to talk about who is going to replace Kevin. I want to talk about who's going to replace Kevin. And the overwhelming defense, or at least not even defense, the overwhelming commentary about firing a guy like Kevin Stefanski is, well, who are you going to get to replace him, right? Who are you going to get to replace a guy like Kevin Stefanski? Because every single national reporter always says if you fire Kevin Stefanski, he's going to get a job somewhere else and he's going to be more successful than he is here with the Browns. And that may be true, right? That could be true. That could be false. We don't know, okay? But what we have seen for the last 6 years under a Kevin Stefanski regime is it is too inconsistent. The good years always come, with a lot of bad years. This is year 6 right now, and things have never been as bad as they have been right now for the last 2 years. And it seems like for the last 2 years that the Browns have not made a concerted effort to get better, especially on the offensive side of the football. They just haven't. And you can say, that's Kevin's fault. You can say it's Andrew's fault. It's a mixture of both of them. And that's what I hate when people try and put everybody in a corner saying, no, it's definitely all Andrew's fault. Oh, no, it's definitely all Kevin's fault. It's both of their fault. It is Andrew Berry's fault for not picking good enough wide receivers and good enough players on the offensive side of the football. And it's also Kevin Stefanski's fault for choosing a guy like Dillon Gabriel in a top 100 pick when it's Kevin Stefanski's guy and he is struggling so unbelievably bad. And we're going to get to Dillon Gabriel and his performance and what the Browns should be doing with Dillon Gabriel going forward later on in the show. But this is just, again, it's this whole thing about who are you going to get to replace Kevin. And I feel like we got a good answer, or at least a good start to an answer when it came to a possible replacement for Kevin Stefanski. And it came from Twitter from reporter Benjamin Albright. Now, I know he's not the best. Sometimes he always, reports stuff that's not credible a lot, or he just reports rumors and everything. But he reported yesterday, some guy on Twitter asked him basically who to get excited about for a possible Kevin Stefanski replacement. And he suggested Clint Kubiak in Seattle. Now, Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, he has been outstanding. The Seahawks have been outstanding offensively, especially in the passing game. They have been, outstanding. We're going to get to their statistics on offense coming in just a couple of seconds. But the offense in Seattle is top 5 in the league. It just is. It's just top 5 in the league. And this is a guy who I feel like is going to be on the market, who's going to be very, very good as a head coach. He's going to be in high demand by a lot of different teams. Now, again, it's up to the Browns in the first place to make a decision on Kevin Stefanski and whether to move off of him. And like we said yesterday, and we've said multiple times before on this channel and on this show, and many others in the Browns media space have as well, it all starts with Jimmy Haslam making a decision and coming off of his support for Kevin Stefanski. Because right now, guys like me and other people in Browns media and other Browns media members are fighting an uphill battle right now when we're saying to fire Kevin and to fire Andrew Berry, because they have the support of Jimmy Haslam right now. They have the support of Jimmy right now. And until Jimmy Haslam changes his mind and changes his view on Kevin's job security and Andrew's job security, we're going to be fighting an uphill battle for a long time to come, okay? And I'm hoping that yesterday's performance against the Jets, a clearly tanking Jets team, and a team like the Browns, who are coming off of a bye week, who are absolutely looking awful out of the bye week. They don't look different. They look the same. You change your coordinator, you change your play caller, still have the same amount of people. Cedric Tillman comes back. Everything looks the same. And frankly, stuff looked worse, in my opinion. I think the defense looked worse. I think the rushing defense looked worse. And I think that the offense looked worse in some points. The Browns were barely averaging 4 yards a play. It was like almost 3, like in the high 3s in terms of yards per play. Okay? And once again, I'll say, we're going to get to Dylan Gabriel's statistics and how he's performing and what the Browns should be doing with Dylan Gabriel going forward. Okay? But right now, Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator from Seattle, this is the guy that a lot of people have been saying that is going to be really hot on the head coaching market. And I just wanted to talk about the different statistics that he has with the Seattle Seahawks. And again, guys, this is with Sam Darnold as quarterback. This isn't like, this isn't like an elite quarterback we're talking about here. Sam Darnold is fine. He's a good quarterback. He's fine. He's turned himself into a good quarterback. He's not Josh Allen. He's not, Mahomes. He's not Burrow. He's not Lamar. He is a fine quarterback. I would probably put him in the same tier as like maybe Baker. Okay, he's probably a fringe top 10, maybe 9 to 10 to 8 in terms of QB ranking. Okay, but I want you guys to see the total offensive rankings that Clint Kubiak has with the Seahawks. Okay, so this is in terms of total offense. The Seahawks ranked 9 in the NFL in terms of total offense. They've got 359 yards per game that they're averaging, along with 27 offensive touchdowns. Where did the Browns rank? 31. The Browns rank 31. 263.5 yards per game with 14 offensive touchdowns. So 14 offensive touchdowns compared to 27. So they're scoring almost double what the Browns have been scoring on offense. 359 yards compared to 263 yards. They're almost averaging 100 yards more. So Clint Kubiak and the Seattle offense are almost averaging 100 yards more than the Cleveland Browns and almost double the Browns' offensive touchdowns, okay? Which is insane. And again, it all boils down to a quarterback, okay? And this is why I think Kevin Stefanski really, really, really hurt himself in terms of his job security when all the reports say he wanted Dylan Gabriel in the draft. They took him with a top 100 pick, and he looks absolutely awful. He looks awful. He does not look like an NFL starting quarterback. He doesn't even look like an NFL backup quarterback to me. He looks like a third string guy, okay? And he was supposed to be a third string guy until the Browns completely did a Browns thing and then got rid of all the veterans and started the rookie, okay? So, anyway, passing wise, in terms of passing offense in the NFL, where do the Seahawks rank? Fourth in the NFL with 255 passing yards per game. Sam Darnold, 16 touchdown passes. This is, I think, before last night's game. So I think all this stuff is going to be better. But Seattle absolutely destroyed, I think, whoever they were playing yesterday. I mean, it was not even close. Seattle absolutely just killing it on the passing wise. Where do the Browns rank in terms of passing offense in the league? 29th. 174 yards per game, 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns compared to 16. Again, more than double the Browns' offensive passing touchdowns and 80 more yards than the Browns' quarterbacks in terms of passing yards and more than double in terms of passing touchdowns for Browns quarterbacks. Okay? Insane. And then now this is where you get rushing offense. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's just going to take too long, right? Rushing offense. This is where the Seahawks are not as good, okay, as their passing offense. The Seahawks rank 22nd in the NFL right now with 104 yards per game on the ground, 9 rushing touchdowns. Where do the Browns rank? 28th with 90 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns. So again, they got 3 more touchdowns than the Browns on the ground, and they're averaging 14, 15 more yards on the ground than the Cleveland Browns. So again, any way you slice it, I looked at all of these stats here. No matter where you slice it, scoring offense, Seahawks rank 5th, Browns near the bottom, 29, 15.8 points per game, 14 touchdowns total. 14 touchdowns total. I think that's going to go up because of the game yesterday. But Seahawks, 29 points per game. 2 touchdowns more per game scored by the Seattle Seahawks and 27 touchdowns compared to 14. Again, almost double. And this is what I'm saying, guys. The Cleveland Browns do not have an offense, man. They don't have an offense. But when you have a quarterback who's decent, it's going to make everything a lot better. And again, I wanted to show you guys Clint Kubiak in Seattle because Seattle is the hottest commodity right now in terms of offense, in terms of like basically teams, right? It was Tampa Bay and Baker early on in this season. Now it's Seattle because Sam Darnold and Seattle have been pretty good so far this year. And again, I show you guys the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. Okay? They don't have a good rushing game. It's all their passing game. It's the passing game. And if you have a quarterback that actually is good, that you can identify in terms of talent, and you build the team around him, you can actually have success, like the Seattle Seahawks are doing. But again, when you have Kevin Stefanski, who identified Dylan Gabriel as his quarterback that he wanted in his draft, after passing up on a guy like Jackson Dart, who's having success, not necessarily team success in New York, because the offense is not necessarily that good around him, and Malik Neighbors, his number one option on offense, is also hurt and out for the year with a torn ACL. But the Browns had a lot of time working with Jackson Dart, and they decided they did not want Jackson Dart. And instead, they decided to go and put their lot in with Dylan Gabriel. And you've seen the results here, guys. You've seen the results. Would you rather have Jackson Dart? I said this yesterday on my show. Would you rather have Jackson Dart or would you rather have Dylan Gabriel? And I think everybody in the world would say they would rather have Jackson Dart than Dylan Gabriel. And that shows you that the Browns and Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry do not know how to identify quarterback talent and offensive talent. And when you're going into an NFL draft next year that could have 3 or 4 guys on the quarterbacks, in terms of quarterbacks that are coming out that are playing at a high level in college right now, do you really have faith that the guys who said that they wanted Dylan Gabriel over Jackson Dart, do you really trust them to make a quality decision on the most important position on the football field? The answer should be no. Because if you say Dylan Gabriel over Jackson Dart, I don't trust you. I don't trust what you say in terms of your football IQ. I really don't. Okay? So that's why I think Clint Kubiak makes a pretty interesting case to be the Browns' replacement for Kevin Stefanski. And again, it's going to be very tough to get him because a lot of teams are going to be wanting him. He's going to be the hot candidate. He's going to be like the Ben Johnson of, this current head coaching carousel that's going to be happening in February, okay, and in January. But if Jimmy Haslam changes his mind about his support for Kevin after what happened yesterday, then by all means, go out and try and get, try your luck and try and get Clint Kubiak from the Seattle Seahawks. Okay? But that's just my opinion. I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out here. You got 5 viewers. I appreciate you guys coming out here on your Monday afternoon. What's up, B Scrolls? Thank you for coming out, dude. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream. Hit subscribe as well if you have not hit the subscribe button. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Excuse me, we've already got 100, but we have had a lot of support recently on this channel. I've been so impressed by all of you guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have not followed me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter at Warmed Bench. That is where I am most active on, in social media. In terms of social media, that is where I am the most active. And I just, I am more active on that platform than probably anything. I'm also active. If you guys have TikTok, I am active on there as well. I've been posting a lot of videos over there recently, and we've been having a lot of success on TikTok. So if you guys do have TikTok, please follow me at TikTok at benchwarmersports_. That is where you can find me on TikTok. That's where I usually post highlights from some of my videos and post some more memes and stuff like that over there. I do the same thing over on X. So make sure you guys follow me at Warren Bench on X and on TikTok at benchwarmersports_. You can also hit the subscribe button and hit the like button on the stream. Okay? So, going forward, let's see here. I want to say thank you guys so much again for coming out. What's up, Beach Girls again? Thank God for the Cavaliers. Yes, dude, I know. They're coming back tonight against the Heat. Everybody for the Heat is most likely out. I know Bam Adebayo's out. Jaime Jaquez, I think, is questionable or he's out. Tyler Hero's out. And my fantasy team is screwed. So my fantasy team for basketball is screwed. Okay, guys. You guys ready to get into the next segment? We're going to be getting into the next segment about Dylan Gabriel. So, we just got done talking about Kevin Stefanski and the possible replacement for Kevin. Talk about Clint Kubiak. Now we need to talk about Dylan Gabriel. I know, Dylan Gabriel, everyone's favorite 5'9" quarterback, Tony Grossi's beloved, apparently. Tony Grossi's been loving him over at ESPN Cleveland. But yeah, we need to talk about Dylan Gabriel. And you can tell by the title at the bottom, Dylan Gabriel needs to be benched. Watching that game against the Jets should have told you everything about Dylan Gabriel. It should have told you everything about Dylan Gabriel. Because, again, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. The Jets traded away their best cornerback, their best defensive tackle, and their best wide receiver barely played in the game. He was playing on one leg, and you still lost. And Dillon Gabriel still struggled. There is so many points in this game where Dillon simply was missing guys. He was simply missing guys. And I don't understand how you can sit here and say that Dillon Gabriel needs another week of starting for the Cleveland Browns. Now, a lot of people have been saying that maybe this is all part of the plan and that Shador maybe plays after the Ravens game next week. I don't know. But again, if this is Kevin's guy, and you're seeing Dillon struggle for going on 6 weeks now, 6 games. This is going to be game 6 against the Ravens. You're seeing Dillon Gabriel struggle. I do not understand how you can continue to put him out here after seeing how he has been performing. It's not even against good defense anymore. It's not even against good defenses anymore. Like, the New York Jets are fine. They're a fine defense. They're pretty good. But again, they didn't have Sauce Gardner. They didn't have Quinnen Williams anymore. This is like taking out Mason Graham and Denzel Ward for the Browns. That's essentially what it was. And they still lost. The Browns offense couldn't do anything. So I want to show you guys this. Someone put together, I think ML Football put together a highlight package of all of Dillon Gabriel's bad throws, okay? I don't know if I'm going to get dinged by the NFL here, but this is from Twitter, ML Football. I think this is also from PEP or PEP. But we can just watch this here real quick. This one here, probably the second most famous. I mean, just short arms it to Jerry Jeudy, just spikes it into the ground. And I think we all can know the other one. This one right here. The screen 5 yards over the head of Malachi Corley. Then you have this other one here. I mean, just dancing around the pocket. Pocket was holding up for him. He gets sacked, takes a sack. I mean, just dancing in the pocket, man. Again, pocket, sacked again. And, I think everyone knows everyone knows how it looked. Oops. Everyone knows how it looked. We all watched the game. And again, Kevin Stefanski is still out here saying that Dillon Gabriel needs starting reps. Dillon Gabriel still needs starting reps, according to Kevin Stefanski. After watching that game and taking into account the last, I would say, 3 or 4 games, really every game outside of the Minnesota game, which was his first start, you could probably take the game against the Miami Dolphins out of the equation too, because that game was a monsoon. Nobody was going to be performing good in that game offensively, right? Except for the running backs. Okay. Outside of those 2 games, Dillon Gabriel has not been good at all. He probably could have thrown 20 picks. I'm not even being exaggerating right now. I'm not even exaggerating when I say Dillon Gabriel probably could have 20 picks in his starts. He probably has thrown like 15 more interceptable passes than what his current stats are right now. And we're going to get to his stats here in a second. But if you are the Cleveland Browns and you were sitting here saying that Dillon Gabriel deserves more starts, after watching him struggle against the New York Jets, again, without their top corner and without their top defensive tackle, he struggled against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who don't necessarily have a good defense themselves. He wasn't great against the Miami Dolphins, but he was serviceable. He was fine against the Minnesota Vikings. Outside of that, he has had no reason to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. No reason. And I want to get into his stats because I don't know if you guys have seen his stats, his advanced stats, but it is absolutely inexcusable. It is inexcusable. We'll get it here. Take a look at this, guys. So, Dillon Gabriel, 7 games, 5 game starts. 102 completions, 174 attempts for only 1,020 yards. So, his intended air yards, about 6 yards. Okay? His completed air yards, 397. He's only averaging 4 yards per completion through the air. So the ball is traveling beyond the line of scrimmage, only 4 yards per completion. 4 yards. His air yards on completion percentage, or on completed passes, his air yards on completed passes, 2 yards. 2 yards. On completed passes, the ball is traveling 2 yards. 2 yards. Everything is short. Everything is dink and dunk. He's got 4.6 passing yards after the catch per completion. So guys are just taking the ball and running. He's getting extra yards because everything is short. Everything is screens. He's got 4 batted balls, 3 throwaways, 9 drops with a 5.3 drop percentage against him. That's bad. But here's the worst part. Poor throw percentage. He's got 24 bad throws, throws that are considered uncatchable. 14%. 14% of his throws are poor. 14% of his throws are poor, are considered poor passes. So that is 1.5 out of 10. Again, 57% on target. So, again, this is all, every single statistical number that you can see for Dillon Gabriel shows you, statistically, he is not the guy. And yet we have to sit here week after week after week, and listen to the same bullshit from Kevin Stefanski saying, Dillon Gabriel is going to be fine. We need to be better. I need to be better. And going forward, we're going to be fixing this. Again, I'm going to show you again. I will show you again. Look at these numbers. Is there anything here that you can say is worth fixing? Anything. Anything. There's nothing. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. Everything is so unbelievably bad with Dillon Gabriel. And again, I'm not wishing the guy to be bad. I'm not some of these like Shador, fanboys who are wanting Dillon Gabriel to absolutely be horrible so Shador Sanders starts. I don't want that. I want the Browns to have a quarterback. But what I do not like is when my head coach, Kevin Stefanski, took this guy in the 3rd round who is clearly not an NFL quarterback. Clearly not an NFL quarterback. And he decides, after watching him struggle for 6 games, to consistently put him out there and watch him flounder around. This feels like a Cody Kessler situation with Hugh Jackson all over again. This is what it feels like. It feels like a trust me. This feels like what when Hugh Jackson went out there and everybody was saying, Cody Kessler out of USC in the 3rd round. That's very weird. Why did you take Cody Kessler when all these different people were saying that Cody Kessler was probably in the 5th or 6th round? And Hugh Jackson went out there and he said, trust me, just trust me on this one. You guys will see how good Cody Kessler is. And then we saw how Cody Kessler was, and he was downright awful. He was downright awful. And we are seeing the same thing happen with Kevin Stefanski, and I feel like this is his Cody Kessler moment. This is his Cody Kessler moment. When you have Dillon Gabriel, who is 5'9", he's not 5'11", like what was listed in the pre-draft process. He's 5'9". When you have a guy who cannot see over his offensive line, he cannot complete passes at a consistent rate. I've showed you guys earlier in this video. He cannot throw screen passes correctly even. He is missing guys on screen passes. He's overthrowing them. He has happy feet in the pocket. And when he has a clean pocket, he can't see over his offensive linemen to see open receivers because then he gets sacked and he holds the ball too long. This is the issue, guys. And again, like I said earlier, with Kevin Stefanski and getting Clint Kubiak, maybe, or going after Clint Kubiak from Seattle, right? And all the rumors that are going around with Clint Kubiak in Seattle, and maybe the Browns could be looking at him, all right? The Browns have to bench Dillon Gabriel. And to me, when they bench Dillon Gabriel, that also feels like it's a death knell for Kevin Stefanski. Because again, Kevin wanted Dillon. Every single report says Kevin liked Dillon. The Browns liked Dillon Gabriel more than they did Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has been way better than Dillon Gabriel with a horrible offense in New York. The Browns had Jackson Dart in for a top 30 visit. They were coaching him in the Senior Bowl. The Browns had assistant coaches coaching him in the Senior Bowl. They went to his pro day. They had a lot of time to work with Jackson Dart. And Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry and the Browns passed on Jackson Dart for Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel, guys. And again, when you say that Kevin Stefanski should be fired, Kevin Stefanski should be fired for choosing Dillon Gabriel over Jackson Dart. Because again, if you cannot identify talent on the offensive side of the football, when your whole thing is that you're supposed to be an offensive savant, you're supposed to be a play caller, and you've given up play calling duties 2 years in a row. The quarterback that you wanted in this draft, that you took over a Jackson Dart who has been having success, not team success in the NFL right now, but has been having a lot of player success. Yeah, you should be fired for that. And again, I'm not rooting against Dillon Gabriel. I'm not. I showed you guys the stats. I showed you guys the advanced metrics. Nothing I can show you on stats with Dillon Gabriel is a good quarterback. Nothing. Everything I have showed you screams. Blinking red lights. This guy sucks. He's not it. And again, he's a rookie quarterback. I understand that. He's a rookie quarterback. But at some point, even rookies, you gotta say, man, you're way in over your head. And this is why I've said, I think Shedeur is actually getting a good deal out of all of this. I know a lot of people want Shedeur to play, but Shedeur is actually getting the better end of the deal out of this because Dillon Gabriel doesn't look ready. We know all the reports of the Browns saying that Shedeur is not ready yet, but Dillon Gabriel doesn't look ready yet. And he's playing behind this offensive line. He's throwing to guys like Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash. He's having to throw to guys like that. And even he looks horrible. So again, when Shedeur Sanders fans are yelling for Shedeur to play, look at what Dillon Gabriel looks like right now, right? Everyone knows. That's why everyone wants Shedeur to play. I want Shedeur to play. But again, if Shedeur continue to get better, he's having more time to develop right now, right? Dillon Gabriel got thrown into the fire. He got thrown into the fire very quick. Dillon Gabriel is going out there and getting his bumps right now. While Shedeur Sanders, he's developing. He's going to get better. He's going to get better and better and better and better. Okay? So again, when everyone's saying that Shedeur Sanders is getting the raw end of the deal, he's actually getting the best deal out of anybody right now, because you know why? He doesn't have to do anything behind this offensive line. He doesn't have to throw to any of these receivers. He doesn't have to throw, to David Njoku, who's so slow now, who's probably like way overweight now. Shedeur Sanders is having fun. Shedeur Sanders, he's taking it easy. He's learning. He's looking at the iPad. He's studying film. He's talking to Stefanski. He's listening to all the quarterback coaches. He is doing the best he can do. Okay. So when Dylan gets benched eventually, because we know Shedeur's going to play, I think Shedeur Sanders is going to look better than Dylan Gabriel. I really do. But again, that's not a high bar. That's not a high bar. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Dylan Gabriel, like I said, not rooting against the guy. I wish him all the best in his career in the future with the NFL. But man, you ain't it. You ain't it. It's time for Shedeur Sanders to get the start, hopefully after this Ravens game. But anyways, those are my 2 cents, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out here on your Monday afternoon. Once again, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And again, follow me on X at Warmed Bench. Follow me on TikTok if you're on TikTok at BenchWarmerSports_. This is exactly what I wanted to do. This is exactly how I envisioned it happening. This is going to be going on Monday, Wednesday, Friday here, coming off the bench. I am very excited once again for the future of this channel and for this show coming off the bench. Let me know, do you guys like this style of format? Would you rather have me doing live streams? Would you rather have it, this show be live? Or would you rather have it be just like one long video? I would like to, because we have 10 people in the chat. We had 17 at one point. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys like better? Do you guys like the live stream format better? Or do you guys like longer videos? Hope you guys put it down in the comments section below. Sorry, I just get a drink of water. I haven't been talking for 37 minutes. But those are really the 2 stories I wanted to get to today. I mean, if you guys have anything in the chat that you want me to talk about for the remainder of the time that I have here, put it in the chat. Once again, if you guys have not hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and follow me on all my platforms. You said you like this right here? You like the live stream format, Beast Girls? Okay. I put out the poll on the community post, and the majority of you guys picked live stream, so which is fine. I like this style of content too. I like this style of content. It just takes a second for me to get everything going. I sort of ramble on a little bit more when I'm live, as you guys probably know and have seen. But I like this. Like I said, I feel this is what I want to improve upon. This is why it's the first show out of many, hopefully, in this channel. I just want to get your guys' feedback on what I can improve, what you guys like more. Once again, I appreciate you guys, all your support on the latest round of videos. We've been absolutely killing it in terms of analytics. Absolutely killing it right now. Like I said, we're killing it on TikTok right now. I've been posting on that. That's been going off a lot. Twitter, same thing. We've been having a lot of different viewers on that. We're starting to get back into the swing of things, guys. But this was these were the only 2 stories I wanted to talk about, because I feel like outside of these 2 stories, I would be repeating myself, and it's not fair to you guys for me to repeat myself. And it's not good content for you. It's not fun for me. Those are really the 2 stories I wanted to talk about that I found that were interesting. Really, it was Dylan Gabriel's performance, and then what to do with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. Those are really the 2 stories that I wanted to talk about. Unless you guys want me to talk about something else, we're probably getting out of here in a couple of minutes. We'll be trying to make these shows roughly an hour. That's what I kind of want them to be. I don't want them to be like some huge thing unless there's actual like a lot of content. And I'm trying to get more people to join the show. So, but trying to get more people to come in, as the show grows, as the show gets, more, as we get more experienced here on, on how to, run this correctly, is like how to run these streams correctly. So we'll be trying to get more people involved as we go forward. So once again, first episode here. It's only going to get better, guys. I promise you, it's only going to get better. Yeah, I think we're probably going to end it here. We're at 40 minutes. I'll just say thank you guys so much for coming out here, okay? We're going to be coming back on Wednesday. Once again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is this format. That's what I'm aiming for right now. So I'll see you guys all on Wednesday. Please take care. We're having a video up tomorrow, today and tomorrow from this stream. So please hit the subscribe button. Turn the bell on so you guys are notified when I go live. Hit the like button. Follow me on X at Warm Bench. Follow me on TikTok at BenchWarmerSports_. And I'll see you guys all